Hey man, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad. I finished a week of work after having a short week the week before, and my
Mm.
God,
Makes
it
a
felt so
difference, doesn't
long.
it?
Oh
Yeah, it
yeah,
does. Yeah, I know.
it's just like, hey, it's
Yeah.
it's Friday, right? No, it's Wednesday. Oh,
Oh,
that's Thursday, right? No, it's still Friday. It's still Wednesday. Oh, so
yeah.
that's been my week, and it's slightly colder, just slightly colder.
Yep. Still, fall's coming. I went up a mountain today. That was fun, but it was actually beautiful weather, so I was happy to go up there for that day. But
Yes, today was actually
it's a
quite nice.
beautiful
Like,
day.
I think it
Yeah,
was like 8 degrees when I woke up Celsius, and like I was like, "Why am I so
yeah,
hot?" Because I have like 4 blankets on me when I go to sleep
sure.
because it's nice and cold, and I get all so
Yeah,
warm and cozy.
it reached
And
like I think 15 degrees or something. Did
it,
it Celsius? So it
dude,
was it was
when,
quite
when,
nice. Yeah,
when I'm driving the truck sometime and that sun is just perfectly at that right angle, it gets hot, and I have to turn on the AC,
sure.
and then I get cold, and then it goes back and forth, and so
At
I'm
least
not
you're
so
not on. At
comfy anymore.
least you're not on Mercury, right?
Yeah, and I'm not so
um,
comfy. Unlike this episode, which doesn't make me feel comfy.
yeah. And
Good
speaking of, I
segue.
guess of
Good
that
segue.
forceful segue, welcome back everybody to Bite My Shiny Metal Cast. And yeah, today we're looking at episode 7, Murderoni. Yeah, okay. So
Hate
I
the
think
title right off the bat.
yeah. So okay, you know what? We'll start off. Well, I guess we kind of did this beforehand, but like I think you and I have mentioned a couple times, maybe in the past. I think we both agreed this whole season has been much better.
Pretty good.
And
There's like 2 episodes
two
that were
episodes,
like,
two or
"Eh,
three. I'm going to say 2 or 3 now. Just
this will be the
this
third
with this
one."
one, and we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. But you and I, at the end of the episode here, we'll kind of talk about why we think we may have figured out why
Oh,
this is
we
the
have
case.
great suspicions why.
Yeah, and this is something very interesting. But Murderoni is an episode where it is a like if crimes of sorry what is that called the
Does that
world
mean
is
it's
hot
canceled?
enough. If the world
Oh,
is
okay.
hot enough is an episode that has already been done to death. Okay, that's why it's worse. The other one, the Numberland Gap, is boring and
Eh,
honestly does not
yeah.
really do much else for the series other than
Nah.
whatever. And they
It
kind of hit
it
them and they
yeah.
missed the mark on a lot of things.
The professor is still a
Yeah,
very smart guy, but guess what? It's a very mathematical episode, and I mean, like,
and it's
supreme
just
mathematical.
and it's
So
and
it's
it's yeah,
it's
and
for
it's just
math nerds.
very and it's just boring. It's just a boring, nothing episode.
Yeah, I
This
agree.
episode is an episode that takes ideas that you and I have agreed that, and I'm sure a lot of people, takes present day topical things, tries to make it into a Futurama type of situation,
Which they've done
forgets,
before,
forgets about canon
which is
multiple
very
times,
important to Futurama. Like,
and has a
Futurama has great canon.
and has a B plot that is arguably better than what the main plot is supposed to be.
Oh, 100% agree.
So that being said, in our predictions episode, we had discussed this episode because we had no idea, and I was correct in predicting that we did not see any of this in the trailer, that they had
Yeah.
stopped showing any scenes of it.
Like the 3rd or 4th episode in, like, they stopped
I
showing
think
bits from that.
yeah,
There's a couple still shots. There's a
with
couple
scared
still shots.
screenless, I think they showed
Yeah.
a little bit of that.
1 or 2.
Right, and maybe no, and nothing of Wicked Human. So this one,
Oh,
Murderoni,
nothing.
shows nothing, and so we had nothing to go on. I had originally thought maybe something to do with like Roberto or something like that, but that was not the case whatsoever.
No.
That was the first
I
episode.
I
It was only in that one scene.
your
Yeah,
prediction for Roberto is like, "Oh, this one scene we see, the is in this episode."
he's
No, wait,
got to
no, hold
be
on. It's in this episode.
he's the
No, no,
villain.
no, no. Murderoni. No, you know what? Wicked Human. Yeah, it's gotta be it. You know what? White Hole. Yeah. You were so like
I
every
was
episode had that in it.
it must have been something to do with Robot Devil and Roberto working together, and it was all these episodes.
That would have been such a good episode.
Would have been much better. But any case, not the case for this. However, I did say at the beginning of our little prediction segment of that episode is it did it both of us I guess did remind us of food. So
Yeah.
murderoni being that of like spaghetti or past some kind of pasta or
Well,
whatever.
macaroni.
Macaroni, you
Macaroni,
had said.
murderoni.
Now,
The M's
yeah.
right there. It ends with oni. Come on.
Now, coincidentally, or not coincidentally, I guess coincidentally, whatever. You were right that it is
Food.
supposed to be a food thing, and the thing is that it's working on is pepperoni, and something has been murdered, thus merging it together. The episode itself, and this should have been a telltale sign of this episode. This episode title, because all the other ones have related to it in some form, even if it's a bit obvious or not. This episode,
Wicked Human, yeah, was kind
yeah,
of a little far out there, but
yeah, but it's still
yeah,
there.
Raptured kind of there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This episode title has nothing to do with anything outside of like one little thing, and even then, they never
Like two
actually do
sentences.
this. Yes,
Yeah.
so that should tell you that this episode is also poorly constructed. Okay,
Oh,
so
I think it is probably the messiest episode in terms of writing.
yeah, and at first I thought I thought I had said that maybe the Numberland Gap was the one I liked the least. I'm wondering if it's actually this one as I've watched it now,
Uh,
but I think I don't like them
yeah.
both for different reasons,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
The Numberland Gap was very like if you were a numbers nerd, it was for you. And you and I like math, but we're not like,
I
oh, I
don't like
love math. I
Yeah,
want to go into
I don't
applied
like
physics
math at
and all that
all,
stuff.
but even then, I can still enjoy the
Sorry,
joke of it,
right?
right? Like if you were good at math in school, whatever, that's great. I was okay with math in school as well. It's fine. But the point is, it's not. It doesn't do much else for that, right?
No,
And then
it's not a
even
Futurama episode.
no, and even the whole thing with like Fry and his painting and everything, like they don't really do anything with the mixtures of like the color versus the numbers or anything,
Numbers.
right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of a nothing thing, and we talked to death about it. This episode, it just hits every bad thing that you and I had issues with for throughout the first Hulu season, and I
Yeah,
wonder why, which we'll talk about. But then
we will.
also a good portion of the second portion or the second season of the Hulu run. Now, let me do a quick synopsis. We'll go into our positives and our negatives because there's always something to say, and then we'll go a little bit into what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I'll do a very brief synopsis because this one's a little bit easier to talk about. So the main thing is it would start off that Hermes is proud that Dwight is going to be joining the Young Bureaucrats Club. Now it turns out though that
He
Dwight
loved it.
Dwight hates bureaucracy. Okay, turns out he hates bureaucracy. He's been skipping it, all this stuff under Hermes's nose. LaBarbara knows, but
Terrible
Dwight
parents.
Dwight Dwight doesn't, or sorry, Hermes doesn't know that Dwight is skipping out on it. He's also apparently skipping some school too. But it turns out that Dwight is working as a part-time waiter
Waiter.
at the old Family Bros Pizzaria, which is run by the Zignoids that we haven't seen since like the
Sig.
very first series, like since the Fox run,
Yeah,
right?
with Alila being a baseball player, or sorry, Blurns ball player.
Yes, Blurns, Alila.
Blurns.
Yes, Alila Verone is the episode's title of that, which is one of
Oh,
the funniest episodes of that season.
I
Actually,
finally understand that now. That the reference is A League of Their Own.
League of Their Own, right?
Oh my god,
Wow.
I love that movie for one thing. It's one of my favorite movies.
And
I
now
would
you just
say.
realize, well, you don't really know the
Oh yeah.
titles either, though, right? So even though
No, I'm terrible at titles. Yeah, I just go the one where Leela plays Blurns. Oh yeah, League of Their Own. A Leela of Her Own. Oh my god, a League of. Oh my god, the
there it
connection.
is,
The
great.
title of this one sucks.
Yes,
Murderoni
yes.
sucks.
Yeah, Lila Verone is actually a very clever title as well. But no, that episode and all this kind of stuff. So we have related to that. So here we go, stomping again on top of old legacy Futurama type of stuff, like
Yeah,
strike
bring
number
it.
one.
Yeah, remember this episode that was really
Yeah,
good? Well, look what I'm gonna do with it.
remember the Zignoids that were like,
Sig noise with a
we're here.
C.
See, yes. Remember that we're here. I can't remember their accent. Like, oh, it's going on, Mom. We're here to make a pizza, not to mind. Like the Italian
Yeah,
stereotype thing.
it's
So no,
it's
no,
a
other way around. It's like, oh right. So we'll get to that. So in any case, they're running their pizzeria still. I don't know why, because something happened in that episode that we just mentioned where they kind of got bought out, but whatever. So they're still working
yeah.
there.
By who did they get bought out by?
I believe it was what is it? Fishy Joe Gilman,
George.
if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
damn
Yeah,
it.
Fishy Joe
Hey,
Gilman,
Joe.
who happens to also be in this episode, running as I think it's a councilman, and he wants.
Mayor. I think it was for Mayor.
I don't think it's mayor because Poopenmeyer would have been running again as well. I'm pretty sure it's like a councilman of some sort. But any case, in this area, he wants to change things because he's a big businessman. He wants to control, or he wants to establish basically all big name brands and cut out all the little guys. Okay. That also meaning Family Bros Pizzeria, which is what the Zignoids own. Now, one of the Zignoids, and what's her name, Mitchell? I asked you because I'm going to forget this. Is it Blacucci or something?
Uh,
Blazucci, I think. Something like this.
Blazucci, yeah,
Blazucci.
played by Tress McNeil. She always does a great job.
Always
She's
does. Yep.
has a couple
Blazucci, and
voices
her
in it.
husband's name is
Black.
Black. Okay.
Yeah, played by Maurice LaMarche.
Great. So these two. Now, Blazucci apparently has political experience on her home planet, but I guess she and her husband decided to move to Earth a long time ago to, set up a pizzeria to make money. That was the point of them going to Earth. They have a great Earthican dream, as they called it. And so she decides to run for councilman. Now, this is where we kind of get into strike number two, topical issues of a current time. Fishy Joe
Yeah.
Gilman is basically playing Donald Trump. Donald Trump,
I'm so sick of Hollywood going, "We hate Donald Trump." We
yeah.
get it. You hate Donald
And
Trump. Let's move on.
she's either Clinton or Kamala Harris. I can't really
I would
tell.
say Kamala just because she's
Or
technically
present day.
foreign
Yeah.
or
Oh,
looking
sure,
kind of
sure.
thing, curly hair and stuff like that, which I didn't get that until you just said it. I'm like, "Man, maybe." It's just basically kind of female versus Trump, which was
Right.
the
And
first one and the last
right.
one.
And the main thing that the Family Bros Pizza, I'm kind of gone off track a little bit. The main thing of the
Sorry.
Family Bros Pizza recently is that they've also started serving pizza. Because remember, so this is why this episode's not very good. Remember before as well, in a Leela of her own, their pizzas, until Fry helped them, was not very good. Okay, because they
Yeah,
were
they were
how to
like
make
bumblebees
right, they
and
didn't know
like
how to make
weird.
earthy pizza.
Yeah,
So now they do, and apparently they're making pepperoni pizza, and the pepperoni are like delicious, melt in your
like
mouth,
melt in your mouth.
delicious.
Yeah.
They have no idea like how this is being made, right? So this is the key for this one. And if they get run out of business, they lose their money, they lose their jobs, they lose their life, okay, their lifestyle. So
Reminder: they've been bought out by Fishy Joe. So
exactly. Years ago, they had already been bought out, but whatever. And he clearly doesn't even know that. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah, it's a very weird episode
so
because like there's no acknowledgement
yeah.
of it, which is canon.
Yeah. So that's strike two for the topical references. Now, we continue on. Dwight is working for them. Hermes finds out because they all decide to go out for pizza because he was happy that Dwight was going to the Bureaucrats Club, but it turns out he's actually not there. Giant coincidence. So, in any case, they find out Fishy Joe is, running for this thing. Blazuki decides to run against him. Blah, blah, blah. Joe Gilman says, I hear they're going to be doing something by their pepperonis from dead babies. They're murdering babies, hence Murderoni.
Yeah,
Okay.
the only like one of two
Literally
times.
the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was mentioned.
They don't even say murderoni. They just say murdering babies in the basement. Blazucci says, we don't even have a basement. Okay. So they want to go and see, like, oh, we have to find out about this basement. And they go in looking for said basement. And we'll get to that in a second. A side thing is Fry has no pants. Or sorry, he has pants, but they need to be washed because they're so dirty because he's worn them for 1,000 years. And yet this is another thing that we've in the past, and this is during the Comedy Central run. I believe he lost his pants. Okay. But it turns out that these pants are still the same ones or whatever. He's still heartfelt about these pants, and Leela washes them and they end up crumbling, and he's very
I
sad about
do
losing
I
his
do
pants.
like that scene. They were all stains. No.
Fry was probably a highlight of this episode, even though some
Yeah.
things are really strange. But in any case,
Yeah.
now we move on to a bit of the B plot. So afterwards, we're trying to figure out, like, okay, we can prove that Blazucci and Bloch don't have a basement. So they need to find the plans for their pizzeria. Now, the pizzeria has been around for a very long time, and they don't have a digital record of it. So Hermes brings Dwight to the central bureaucracy, which is, I'll admit, it's nice to see this place
A
again.
good callback, yeah.
Except then we also get a callback of the old man who has already died. He was the one that was looking for his birth certificate, and he was like trampled in one of the movies or something somewhere in this Comedy Central run, whatever. He's already supposed to be dead, but he's back, and he's right at the line until Hermes cuts in front and takes his number, and then he dies again.
Yeah,
So
he
that's
has a
what
little
that is.
Rolodex, which is a
Yeah,
very, very old thing from like
right. Very
before the
Hermes based.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he still
bureaucracy
has it
thing.
for a number because he's like, oh, that's us, like 1,752 or whatever it was. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So in any case, he gets in. We get this whole thing with, I think we saw these guys in how Hermes requisitioned his groove back with the cube because he says he has an office. Hermes has an office in
Oh,
this
where
place.
was that?
That was how Hermes
Eh,
requisitioned, isn't it? Bobby did
I don't
whatever that guy
remember.
is. I can't even
No, no,
remember
no,
his
no, no, no. It
name.
was the one of the better Hermes episode where he goes with Bender to look for his IQ,
That's a Comedy
inspector
Central
number.
run, right? Okay,
Yeah,
with Inspector
and
Five,
yeah,
right?
so it was
Okay,
like a Rubik's cube, but this one was like a Rubik's cube on top of a Rubik's cube. I don't know. It was like a
it's
Rubik's cube
crazier. Yeah,
squared. It
you got
wasn't
me
a
right
three by
there,
three.
right?
Yeah, the hey guys,
Yeah. So
Randy, but a bureaucracy Randy.
right. So good name for him. So we'll call him Bureaucracy Randy. So Bureaucracy Randy says to Hermes and Dwight, like, yeah, you can go and find it in the paper area. Okay. So this is basically the B plot of this, which is kind of more of this like adventure type thing. So Hermes is essentially showing Dwight how cool it is to be a bureaucrat. Okay, even though Dwight still has nothing to do with it, he doesn't want anything to do with it. They go into the paper trail, and Hermes does a lot of this sleuthing and how good he is at a bureaucrat to say like, okay, we have to go this way because the papers are getting more yellow over here. And there's more termites over here, or
The
dust
mites are
mites or
bigger.
whatever. They're bigger. They're getting bigger. And it gets to a point where they get into this like Dungeons and Dragons type of situation where they're in the middle of this area that's all papers, looks like a snowstorm in the mountains.
There's a
It's
joke
all
too with
paper,
Hermes, like,
whatever. Yeah. And
"Ooh,
Hermes
Dad,
makes
why are you shivering? It's
yeah,
like 100 degrees out." It's like, "It just looks like it's
looks cold.
cold."
So Hermes also makes mention of a person we've never heard from before, but this person is called Bureaucrates. Okay, apparently he got lost in his own paper filing and he was never seen again. So Hermes and Dwight are going on, and they find like this giant. I guess it's a mite of some sort, but it's like an evolved, like giant monster mite or something can eat them. So Hermes,
Yeah,
does
the
some
mites get bigger just because they
yeah,
eat more paper.
exactly. So Hermes does some hijinks. He makes like a chain link suit of armor for him and Dwight using
I
actual
do like
paper
that.
clips, and it's clever. It's clever. Like there's some things about it. It's just not very funny.
It
And
took him
again,
8 hours to do, though.
yeah. So
And the mite was sleeping.
right. So they finish it off, and Hermes does beat the mite and everything, but it's like, oh, we're lost. And we don't know where to go, how to get out of here or anything. And they are found by Bureaucrates, who I believe is David Herman. So he
Yep,
brings him to his little
100%.
desk, and he says, like, oh, yeah, if you want this for this particular pizzeria, like, here you go. And he gives him like this tube thing with the information. And he says, but it's no use to you because you'll never get out. And it turns out they're right next to this emergency exit. And because Bureaucrates is all about following rules, he won't use it because it's not quote unquote an emergency. So Dwight and Hermes end up leaving. They could have they could have found him right away. But in any case, that's the side thing. That's the B plot. Now they bring it back, and the news and all these people, and Bender's starting like a mob because he likes to get mobs saying like, show me the basement, all this stuff, despite the fact that he loves
We
the
won't be
pizza.
complacent. Show us the basement or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
Show us
complacent.
the attic.
Show me
Oh
the
crap, not
basement. Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, or something like that. We meant
I
basement.
told you it was gonna rhyme. Yeah, exactly. So, any case, it turns out that this place does indeed have a basement. And the weird thing is, it's built over Panucci's Pizza, the
Yep.
original pizzeria that Fry worked in, which I'm
Which got
pretty
blown
sure
up.
was blown up and also downtown. This like it was nowhere near the water, which this
Yeah.
is. So okay, fine, whatever. Fry ends up finding a spare pair of his pants in his old locker. I have his new pair of pants again. They're 1,000 years and they're just perfect. And it turns out that Blek, the husband, because Blazuki didn't know anything about this, Blek had been coming down and been taking old, like 1,000-year-old quote unquote
Aged.
pepperoni, aged
Yeah.
pepperoni from this basement and using it. But it turns out the pepperoni was not pepperoni. It was these old fly catching
Paper.
little sticks or whatever, that like the sticky things you hang from the ceiling to catch flies. They don't go in food or anything. And it was 1,000 years of accumulated flies that they were then serving to people, which also disgusts everyone. And then that's basically it. They're proven to not actually be doing all this stuff. Black and Blazuki go back to just going with their pizzas and everything, and basically the episode ends as
Zoidberg
it
was
began.
sad though. The
Very
pepperoni didn't taste very good anymore because it
yeah,
wasn't bugs.
it wasn't the same, and that was it. And then basically Dwight, the moral of the story here, Dwight and Hermes, again, I guess this is like the 100th time of this happening as well, but they reconcile, and Dwight says that, oh, Hermes, or Dad, you're still pretty cool. Okay, great.
And didn't they just have an episode of that? How the West went 101101001 or whatever. Wasn't that another one where Dwight kind of was like loved his father?
Yep, and they also did that one with Planet Espresso.
Oh, Planet Expresso. Oh, right. That's another one I don't really care about. I have
Yeah.
not rewatched that
So
season. So
yeah. So any case, there you go.
there it is.
That's what's this episode? Murderoni. That's Murderoni.
Murderoni.
So
Yeah, pepperoni and murder, which murder was only mentioned once, and I guess they don't want to keep
yeah,
mentioning murder babies because there might be some negativeness
yeah.
around the word
Even
murder
though
and
even though
babies in the
it's
same
quote unquote
sentence.
Trump saying it, but whatever. So
Yeah.
let's go into positives and negatives. Our positives are not very many, but I will
Um.
say,
Yeah, the whole sequence is with
sequence
White
with
and
Hermes and Dwight is very
yeah,
clever, and
I
I think
like
it's
that.
fine. Yep. I don't think it's. Do I think it could have been a standalone episode? No, not at all. You need more of
Maybe.
a. No, I think you needed more of a reason for them to go down there and stay down there. Like maybe
Okay, yeah,
bureaucracies could have also been more of a villain, but that wasn't the focus of the episode. It was about the murder basement, right?
yeah.
But I did like that scene, that segment as well. The scenes with Fry being like, "Oh, I lost my pants" and all this stuff. You know, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, but we already had a pants episode of his
Yeah, so
with what was that one called? I even looked it up. Farewell to Arms.
Farewell to Arms, yeah,
Yeah,
with
so
the
that was literally like his lucky pants,
yeah, that's right.
and it was again taking. Oh, I don't have an idea. Oh, Fry. Let me watch ones that I like from that one. Oh, Fry's pants. I'll make something about Fry's
Yeah,
pants.
but let's not continue any of the things that we talked about in those episodes. Let's just use that segment again. And okay, so
Yeah, let's take from something else that was established, and I'll claim that I did it. Like
uh,
Panucci's Pizza, that was my idea. How it was in New York.
so it is
Ugh.
nice seeing the Zignoids back. They're still good.
Yeah,
Uh,
I appreciate them. Although we don't get the fun like oh, Leela's concussed me and I can't see out of my left eye anymore or something like that because that's he got
that's
beamed in the head.
oh right, okay, that'd be more of a negative, I suppose. But anyways, yeah, that's what I would say for my positives. Do you have any other positives to add?
I did like Fry in this episode kind of thing. It was like, hey, where's your underwear going? He's using it as a torch,
That's right.
kind
So
of thing.
he's like losing more and more clothes over the episode.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, because he starts working at the Panucci's or at the
He helps him out again.
at their house because Dwight is off with Hermes, right? So he starts like helping them out with pizzerias and all that with the pizzeria stuff. And that's fine because he's like wearing an apron, so you don't notice until he turns around. He's like only has his underwear, and then later he's like, "I'll go down in the basement." It's like, "Where's your underpants?" He's like using it as a
It's a
torch.
torch, yeah.
So
Bureaucracies, I
yeah.
kind of liked him because I feel like that's how I organize my thing. I put it over here, and I go over back over here, and then
Only
like you look through like
where it is,
yeah,
yeah.
only I know where it is. That's how I kind of have my room, and like a few times it's been cleaned up by someone else, not me. And I was like, where's this one thing? Oh, I can't find it.
I had it right here this whole time, and now it's
Yeah,
gone. Yeah,
yeah, you're
uh,
a huge bottleneck. I do love that. I love that from Hermes when he's like, "You are the best bureaucrat
bureaucrat
ever,
ever, yeah, because
bureaucrat."
you
Because
know where it is, yeah,
you're a huge bottleneck kind of
yeah.
thing, which I just thought was hilarious because that's how I kind of feel about bureaucracy anywhere. It's just like
Yeah.
one person can screw it all up or
Mhm.
save it all.
Yep.
Um,
So,
what else did I like about this episode? That was pretty much really it.
that's it. Yeah.
Like I'm so sick and tired of the Trump allegories between people and stuff. It ruins the characters because like they were annoying to begin with, but they weren't annoying in that specific way. So they
Yeah.
twist them to make them even more annoying, but in two different ways.
Who's the big villain of the day, right? It has to be him.
Yeah,
So
it has
yeah,
to be him.
going on to the negatives. Yeah. So okay. I mean, how many strikes was that? They've
I
tripped
think
on
you
farewell
stopped at
to
like two.
yeah, farewell to arms, a Leela of her own, whatever episode it was where the old guy already died.
I think that was
Um,
yeah, who knows?
um, that was in the Comedy Central run. And then
Lucy's
of course
Pizza.
any episode that you talk about with Panucci's Pizza, because clearly
Yeah.
we're not in that area of the city, because it's shown to be right across the street from the Planet Express headquarters, which is right next to the river. So,
Yeah.
any case,
The current pizza place. What was that one called again?
Family Bros Pizza.
Family Bros. Sorry.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. Family Bros Pizza. Yeah, which when the episode they first moved in, the
Oh,
professor's like, "Oh, we
yeah.
got those people across from
Right.
us," which was
And of
supposed to,
course, right. So if we hadn't already mentioned it as well, right? The Zignoids, I said it. The Zignoids are selling. They had already sold Family Bros Pizza to Fishy Joe.
yeah.
Okay.
Continuity for this episode was all
Oh,
out everywhere
brutal,
because
absolutely brutal. Yeah,
I think technically, like if you include the movies as canon, which you and I both do, because it's by the yeah,
should. Yeah, I think they
yeah,
must. Yeah, they must because they entered the Comedy Central run coming out of the wormhole thing, which is right from Beyond the Green
so yeah.
Yonder. So
So Panucci's Pizza blew up, so it's no
yeah,
longer there for one thing. So
yeah.
technically, none of that stuff should
Even
exist.
like, oh,
And they,
the only because you know what they kind of do this another thing with the shade of the lamp thing when they do like Amy comes down, she's like, oh, I guess they were building on top of one pizzeria to another pizzeria, and then they stopped. So they're building a pizzeria. It's like, ugh, even if that were true, even if that was the joke of the episode, it's not supposed to be in that location, right?
no, no
So
location,
yeah,
location.
and it did blow up. So the fact that it's you know what, to be fair, wasn't it only Fry's room that blew up? Panucci's Pizza kind of got like maybe singed a little bit, but Fry's room got destroyed. But
Yeah, that was a top room.
yeah, So
Well, yeah. Well, also that's how like I would say the whole outside got like extremely burnt because that's how Seymour he got
Seymour
like he
and
got flash
fossilized. Yeah,
fossilized, right?
it's true.
And
So, yeah.
I looked at Reddit because I was just like, I wonder if are people gonna like this episode because like obviously it's like I hate Trump and like a lot of them are like, okay, cool, you made fun of Trump, whatever, let's move on. And other ones like, well, hold on, there's so many issues with this one because it's like
Mhm.
Fry's pants. He heavily implied them that they already washed them in like the Bending in the Wind episode when
There you go.
they went on sorry, Broken Bender went on tour with Beck
That's
and
right.
then
Oh,
and then
right.
Shell,
What is
Zoidberg Shell.
right? There's another thing. Right. Okay. I
That
mean,
one's a very minor one, but I
it's
still a
going on and
negative,
on and
right?
on. Yeah. Okay. But point is, the negatives of this episode we've listed. This is just utterly ridiculous.
Okay,
So
but why is it ridiculous, Anthony?
now, yes,
Why?
let's get into this, Mitchell. As you have pointed out when you and I were talking off camera. So, who was the person who wrote this episode?
Oh, is this idiot who thinks he's one of the best writers to ever exist ever? Cody Ziegler.
Ziegler. Okay. Can you remind me and the audience what did Cody Ziegler write? His writing credentials of the Hulu
Just so he's written 3 episodes so far of Futurama,
including this
um,
one, Murderoni.
including this one. So
Mhm.
he wrote Rage Against the Vaccine, a very topical, very like
Yeah.
anti
Was
person.
not a fan of that episode
Yeah,
whatsoever. Yep.
yeah.
And
Also,
I'm
it
on record as saying
really.
it. Yep. Yep.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You're on record to say.
No, I'm on record saying that I did not like Rage
Oh,
Against the
same here.
Machine.
Same here.
That was
But
a
that was another Hermes episode in a way, kind of thing, right?
yep, with Voodoo. Yep.
And then the season 12 or whatever you want to call it, the next season,
Mm,
part 2 or whatever. He
yep.
wrote Quiz Game, which I think was probably one of my least favorite of that season,
You really,
just because
yeah, you and I really didn't like that episode either. Yep.
it was just written so badly. It was supposed to be like Fry's parents love him, but they never
Mm,
connected. So it was just written poorly. So that
okay.
was a bad one.
So those
And then
three
he also
episodes.
wrote Murderoni,
This one.
as we just
All
discussed.
right. Now,
So
something that you and I just figured out. Just sorry to cut
yes,
you off. Just something that you and I
no,
just
no
figured
worries.
out. Now, I had said at the beginning of the series when you and I
You
first
did
started reviewing these episodes, and I stand by it. These episodes are a hell of a lot better than they
the
were
current season. Sorry,
past
the current
this
season.
current season. Were a lot better than the past two quote unquote seasons of what the Hulu run has begun. Now, during the first season of the Hulu run, who was in charge of executive writing, or what is the title?
Executive story editor.
Story editor. And this person does what?
Oh, I just closed that tab. But they're basically kind of there for like the ideas and how the brainstorming of ideas, determining the direction of the show, directing the writing staff and breaking episodes, season arcs, and also doing rewrites for the finished script. So it's
Wonderful.
a heck of it's pretty much being in charge of the writing,
It's a
more or
big
less, right?
job. And
It's a
who
big
was in
job.
charge of this?
Cody Ziegler.
Cody Ziegler. Okay. So,
He did all of season quote 11,
right.
right? Part
The
one of
first,
the
first
first.
season coming back.
Yeah.
Then the second season, he only did the writing
He
of the
only
one
he only
episode.
wrote the one episode. Yeah.
And you and I noticed that, okay, these episodes are a little bit better. They're not great, but they're
Yeah.
definitely better, at least, and especially the temp, right? The temp was like
Well,
a standout of that whole season.
yes.
And then these ones are so much better. Now, you and I agree. This is the work of this man Ziegler is probably the reason why the first season was like horrible. It was very bad. And if he was editing these stories, and apparently he's done this with some other series as well, we won't get into it because it's not about
Yeah.
Futurama. But the whole portion of that kind of stuff, it's probably due to him. And I don't. They obviously didn't fire him because he's still working on the episodes. But I wonder if he got into some trouble because his episodes were not received very well amongst most of the fan base. Maybe. But in any case, this guy does not pay attention to continuity, and he doesn't
Yep.
pay attention to character motivation or anything that the characters actually have done in the past. And I think he just wants to insert certain things to make it relevant to what he cares about. And I honestly do believe this. And we've seen that in Rage Against the Vaccine. We've seen that in Quiz Game, and we've now seen it in Murderoni. Not to mention all the episodes that he would have overlooked throughout the first season of the Hulu run.
Yeah.
So
Or have the ideas for which like
yeah,
yeah, it was just a very odd.
it's unfortunate, but he's the guy who they quote unquote fired is this guy, I think, and good. I don't think he
Prince in the
needs to be in there.
product.
Yeah,
Zap gets canceled. Need I say more?
mhm. Parasites Regained.
Regained. We
Like,
do not speak of it.
so, any case, in our predictions, you and I had both been, you know what? Funny enough, you and I had both been like, I don't think this is going to be very good because of this guy. I said 5, and you clearly were like 4. I'm
A
gonna go
fail. A fail.
fail. I'm gonna go. Even though because this is like the lowest I said, because even for Numberland Gap, which I didn't like, I liked the least of those episodes so far. I would say this one is definitely like
Worse.
it is worse. It is worse. I can't really put my finger on it. Like, do I
It's
want to
bad
give it?
writing, man. Like
Do I
it's
want to give
all
it a
over the
4?
place.
Do I want to give it a 4, or is it a 5 because there are some redeeming qualities? Because the whole episode is not that bad. It's just
As we've discussed,
it just kicks you in the balls because it doesn't
yeah.
follow anything. So I'm gonna go 5. I'm gonna go 5. And
I'm
the
gonna
reason
go
for
a
it is because
failing
it's some good
5. How about
things.
that? It's a
A
failing
failing
5. Yeah, no, no.
soft 5. I'm
I like how
stealing
I
your
started
idea.
that. Yeah, I like that.
It's a soft 5. It's not quite a 5, but it's just high enough. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a jumping 4.5 because it can jump up to 5 if it really wants to with some things, but I just don't like this guy. And I know that's kind of a rude thing to say, just like, oh, this guy had something to do with this. Oh, it's gonna be bad. Well, guess what? It was proven to be bad, and like it's
Yeah.
just
This is
bad.
three episodes he's written. And we're not even talking about the things that he's story edited. We're talking just about his episodes. They're all bad. They are all bad. We have all of our reviews of his episodes. We say it. We give him credit where credit is due. Maya Williams did much better this season than she did the previous ones.
I'll begrudgingly agree with you
Yeah,
there.
and
I honestly,
we'll
I
admit
think
it.
she had her husband help her out with it, but that's just me.
Can't prove it.
I have
So
no
until
proof
then,
for it.
until then, but we give credit where credit is due. This guy has 3 times now. Those episodes are not good. They are not good
No.
Futurama episodes. They are not well written, and they stomp all over continuity and all over character stuff. Not
Very
very good.
topical.
Yeah.
And
So
like a particular side of it too.
yeah,
That just
but
yeah.
it does have a few things in it that I liked, such as the Dwight and Hermes thing, and Fry was
That
kind
was
of
funny.
funny. So I'm gonna stick with a 5. You'll be 4.5.
I do have one more thing just
Yeah.
to say. Why the hell would Dwight go work across from where his dad works?
I guess he's not as smart as we all thought he was.
Yeah, so there's another bit of a negative there,
Sure.
but either way, like it just like yeah, I'm gonna give it like a rising 4.5.
Sure.
I don't really know because
Okay. I'll go for my
it's
soft
still
5.
Futurama. There's still some jokes in there.
Yes.
Zoidberg had a joke here or there.
Agreed.
The professor, I don't know why he was the one that moved the giant thing off the door. It could have been someone else. It's just there's just a lot of things that are just like it didn't make sense. Why are you doing
Why is it
this?
like
Like,
that? Yeah.
and I have no idea if it's literally this guy just being an idiot and a bad writer, or if what tends to happen, from what I understand, in some people's contract, they need X amount of screen time and stuff like that. Even if it's a voice acting thing,
Mhm.
maybe they need Billy West, who's already pretty much the voice of Futurama, making a noise as the professor. I don't know,
Maybe.
but yeah, like a 4.5. This was a fail of an episode in my mind.
Yeah. Not a good episode. If anybody's watching these new episodes, you can skip this one. No problem.
It's not really worth it. There's
Not
like
worth it at
2
all. Does
jokes in
nothing.
it
Yep. Does
that are
nothing.
good.
Like I said, it is nice to see the Signoids again, but other than that, not really much else to go with. So, okay, with that, we'll leave it. And yeah, we'll talk again later then for our next episode after Murderoni, Crab Splatter.
This one was surprisingly good.
We'll go into this one. Yeah, this one is probably the opposite of what we found about this current one. So, yeah.
The
Crab Splatter.
second food related title.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah.
So, or Crab Splatter. I'm sorry. Oh, no, it is Crab Splatter. You're right. It is
Yeah,
Crab
crab splatter.
So,
Not crab splatter.
Splatter. So we'll get into that next time. And yeah, thanks again, Mitchell, for joining me as always. And everybody,
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, everybody, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment as well if you like talking all things Futurama, both the good and the bad. And
Yes.
yeah, we'll see everybody next time for Crab Splatter. So have a good one, man. Take it easy.
Yeah. Oh, toodaloo.
Toodaloo.